Hello, and welcome to the Here with Joe podcast for Monday, May 13th. I'm a couple days late. All right, it's actually Wednesday the 15th, but we're going to put it for Monday the 13th. How you doing? How are you? I am here. You are Joe. Let's get into it. It's been a while, folks. It's been a good hot minute. Did I get distracted with life? Yes. Was I trying to lose weight? Yes. Did I lose weight? No. Maybe a couple pounds, but not really. Look at that. It's been a while. Been too long. I did the opposite of what I'm supposed to do, doing it every day, doing it every week and posting the clips every day, at least a couple times a week. Couldn't do it. I don't know why. I literally made it to where my podcast is the easiest possible thing you could do. Okay? And I'm not paying to go to a recording studio. I'm not building my own studio. I'm not dealing with bringing in guests. I'm not dealing with doing homework about those guests. I'm not looking up research of things to teach you. I'm not even thinking. I didn't even think about that sentence I just said. All right, I'm doing nothing but just talking. I'm just being here. All right, that's why it's called that. And I couldn't even do that. But I'm back, and we're doing okay. All right? Got a little sad there for a minute. Let me be sad. All right, sometimes I'm going to be sad. Do I joke about suicide too much? Maybe. Yeah, possibly. Am I suicidal? No. Do I think about it? Obviously. Who doesn't? Okay? We all wake up on Mondays. That's irresponsible. You shouldn't say that. Because some people actually are suicidal. You can't bring that up to them. But you never have thoughts about ever. If you never have thoughts about suicide, kill yourself. You think you're better than me? You think you joke, all right? That's definitely not going to be a clip. I'll be banned off social media forever. A lot of serious stuff going on in our little hiatus. Love to see, the kids are all right, all right? The kids are all right. They're out there fighting for Palestine on all the campuses. And they're doing well when the conversation gets switched on them. When someone switches a conversation on you or tries to, that's how you know you're winning. Okay? When what were they? Rollerblades? When rollerblades were really popular and they're really cool and people were having fun out in the streets doing it. Instead of saying, no, that shit's not as cool as skateboard, that's not as fun as skateboard, they just called it gay. They changed the conversation. Whenever they could even do it for like a quote-unquote good thing. When they wanted people to stop driving big trucks, guzzling all the gas up, they started saying, oh, the bigger the car, the smaller the dick. That's not the conversation. You're changing up the conversation. And now people are saying the kids out there being free Palestine, instead of saying you guys shouldn't want to free Palestine, they're like, you guys are fighting for Hamas. You guys are on Hamas's side. No one's on Hamas's side. All right, Hamas is a fucking gang. All right, that's not what the conversation is, and you fucking know it, dude. You're changing the conversation. So these kids are all right. Still, getting their ass kicked. What the fuck was that? UCLA, just a fucking gang of people just coming and beating the shit out of peaceful protesters. And then what happens? The conversation gets changed again. It's like, oh, they're fucking causing violence. They're causing violence. They're causing violence on campuses. It's a victim blame, You can't say that and be the same person that during the Me Too movement being like, these, a woman can wear whatever she wants to wear. That's not an invitation to be fucked with. All right? A peaceful protest isn't an invitation to be fucked with. All right? You guys are trying to change the conversation. And the conversation is, we got a country of people, millions of people, over the last 75 years since 1948, being treated as a second-class citizen, and not even a citizen sometimes, in their own homeland. All right? Getting kicked out, driven out, and, living under occupation and oppression. That's the conversation that we're having, okay? So anyone trying to fucking pull a little switcheroo on you, don't let them fucking do it, all right? I gotta stop cussing as much. I think I'm gonna try to cuss less. No cursing, all right? No more cursing in my household. At least on this, the clips are getting, they're getting fucked with. I did it again. Why is it called a curse? What's that about? Did people used to actually think they were cursing someone? That would be pretty funny. You call someone a bitch, they turn into a dog. Call someone a bastard, their dad stops loving them and leaves. Call someone a dirty fuck, they turn into your mother on my birthday. Hey, yo. Ow. Oh, I'm on the street next to my apartment, talking stupid shit in my car. And this is me being productive. What the fuck? Finished the script. Yeah, finished the script. And if the doctor refills my Adderall, I'll finish a screenplay. I'm only 5 pages in, but boy is my desk clean. Nah, I don't fuck with Adderall. I haven't taken Adderall. I took it one time, maybe twice, in college. A roommate was, I almost said addicted to it. He was prescribed it, and I needed to study for finals, and I took it. And the shit works incredibly well. And then I just never took it again because I never needed to take finals again. And I don't want to go ask a doctor for Adderall. And I know friends would be like, oh, I'll get you some. You're not getting Adderall. All right? If you think the person on the street is selling you Adderall, you're doing meth, friend. All right? No, I'll go to Mexico to get it. You're doing meth. And, I'm also a grown man, And I might need it. I think I have ADHD. Okay? But then what happens? Okay, I get prescribed Adderall, and then one of two things happen. I either find out I actually needed Adderall this whole time, and now what? I got to just take speed the rest of my life? That's crazy. Or I didn't need it, and I just have a good time. Wait a second. That part. There's an avenue that's actually pretty cool. Now, I can't, I know it would be too good for me. I'm just not a drug. I'm not a drug guy of drugs that just become a thing you need. I like mushrooms. I like LSD. Not really LSD, but I'll do it. I like psychedelics. Weed used to be more fun. At a certain point, I think you turn 30-something, and once you get a certain amount of real responsibilities, weed just stops being as fun. So no, I can't do. Adderall's just not for me. I don't think. I just don't want the responsibility of it. So, sorry, folks. Not gonna do Adderall, and you're just gonna have to deal with there being 3-month periods where I just don't do the podcast because, something else took my attention. Got super into this new mobile game. Really took my attention away. What else? What else are we talking about? Netflix is a joke fest just finished up. That was fun. That was cool. Man, every day was just like a party for 2 weeks. I mean, and I wasn't even going that hard. I mean, there was a few nights that we were out till like 4 a.m, and there was like a couple that were right in a row, like 2 of those in a row. And I was fucking dead. Some people were out like that almost every night for 2 weeks. I saw them after that. They look like zombies. They're fucking. But it was a good time. I think it is officially taken over. Now that JFL's dead, I think they did a good job. I think it's going to be the new yearly industry hang. Kill me if I ever say that again. There was some stuff I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember. I'm annoyed that too much serious stuff is happening now, with Palestine and all that stuff. I don't want to come on here and talk about that. I want to talk about cottage cheese. I want to talk about Drake and Kendrick. I want to have the bad opinion, but now it's a good opinion, and it's cool to say Drake sucks. All right, I've been saying that for a long time, and people always made fun of me. Oh, you don't like Drake? He's one of the best. He sucks. All right. He makes music for malls. He makes music for teenagers. And then he bangs those teenagers. All right, that's not proven. I just heard it in a song. There was other stuff I wanted to talk about, though. What do I want to talk about? Wow. I haven't done this podcast in a month and a half, 2 months, 3 months. It's been a long time. And you would think I would have gotten more things to talk about. But what happens is I stop caring about paying attention to anything. Before I go any further, NorCal people. Are you in Northern California? Are you in the Bay Area or the Bay Area adjacent area? Santa Cruz? Santa Clarita, Mamamita, I don't know. Me and the bastard of Bakersfield, Bruce Gray, are going to be coming up to NorCal next weekend, May 23rd through the 26th, I think. It's a Thursday through, maybe Wednesday through Sunday. We're going to be doing a bunch of shows. All right? I'm going to list those shows right here in this clip. All right, down at the bottom of this clip in the captions. Or no, not in the captions. I'll put it in it doesn't fucking matter. Come to one of those. All right, I'll send out an email to the NorCal people in the email list. And if you haven't signed up for the email list, sign up for the email list, because this is how you know I'm coming to where you're at. All right? And there was a lot of Northern California people in that list. So I'm coming. Okay? Last time I was in San Francisco, my back went out so bad that I had debilitating pain, had to have surgery, and had the worst 8 months of my life. Surgery went well, and now my right calf doesn't work. So what body part are you going to take away from me this time, San Francisco? And don't say butthole as a gay joke, all right? That's so 1991. Gay jokes were all over the place. And I said 1991, but let's be honest. 2008. Go back. I implore you. Go back and watch any comedy movie made, I'm going to just say before 2008. It might have been a couple years earlier, maybe a couple years later. But let's just say 2008 and earlier. Yeah, I'm locking it in. Let's say 2008, 2009. Any comedy movie made from then all the way back to, let's say, 1994. There is guaranteed to be a joke in that movie that is centered around, well, I'm not fucking gay, dude. I ain't gay, dude. That's what there's a whole joke around that. It might be a central plot line. It might be something like in a Scary Movie where there's a whole character that's the whole joke of his character is that he's in the closet gay and like everyone's just like looking around like, it might be like that, but he's acting straight. Or it's just a scene like in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where they wake up and realize they've been accidentally snuggling each other in bed. And oh yeah, did you see the Bears game? Blah, 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 blah. Hilarious movie. And funny scene, too. But, like, I remember being a little kid and being like, I don't even understand what homophobia is. People are scared of gay. And I didn't see it in the movie. Now I look back, I'm like, were people actually scared of gay? Of homosexuality? Because it, like, you look back, you're like, people seem scared of it. The jokes were around being, like, worried. And it was in every single one. So, I'm glad that's gone. I'm glad, dude, everyone shits on the younger generation. So far, they're getting everything right. And I'm not just saying that because I'm Palestinian. But, like, I don't see kids under the age of, let's just say, 24 being... racism is making a comeback, though. But that's a weird one. Racism is making a little bit of a comeback. But I don't see them being homophobic. They're pretty open with their sexuality. It's funny. Everyone says everyone under a certain age they're all bi, but no, they're not. They're just they don't give a fuck. They're not. They just like. Why are you bringing it up, dude? The straight ones are straight, and the gay ones are straight, and the bi ones are bi. Some of them are. I think the one thing. Okay, so wait. They get that right. They get sexuality right. They get emotions kind of right. Sometimes a little too right. Like, it's good that they're like aware of emotions and mental health. They're very aware. And I think sometimes maybe they're too aware and think that because they're going through whatever or they have whatever mental health thing that everyone has to deal with it. I think that's social media making them feel a little too self-centered in that regard, but it is good that they're aware of depression to recognize it and of anxiety and of stuff like that. They're not just burying it inside their soul until they're 45 and then next thing they realize they've been married to the wrong person for 25 years and they buy a Corvette and spend all their retirement savings on hookers and gambling. And then drive that Corvette off a cliff, drunk, and leave a note for their children saying, "I never loved you. You were a mistake. And by the way, I feel like I was a woman the whole time. I probably should have been a woman inside. Or maybe not, I don't know. I don't even know what a woman is because I was a man growing up in a culture that didn't recognize women as equal. And so I I just thought I liked to wear heels. But really, I wished my balls were ovaries. I'm so confused. And it won't be until I get the wind of the Grand Canyon's depth flowing through my face as I drive this Corvette convertible that I spent all your college savings on. I know Corvettes aren't that expensive, but I gambled away most of your savings, and I also didn't care to negotiate with the used car salesman who I owed money to anyway because of a bad baccarat game on his underground casino. So sayonara. Love you. Sincerely. Cindy is my name now. That was a long way. Anyway, I think they get emotions right. They get sexuality right. They get social justice has kind of become a bad word, a weird, like, oh, woke, what are you fucking cancel? But, like, don't be an asshole, okay? I think they get don't be an asshole right. The thing they don't get right is being obsessed with themselves. But that's social media. We did that. The millennials did that to them. I can own that. We invented social media with the help and funding of Gen X. And they just were born into it. So their whole lives is all about needing to feel unique so that they get the likes. That's the one thing they got wrong. But everything else, they're doing okay. And God bless them, because everyone above us did wrong. Gen X gets to fly by. Well, no one ever talks about them. They're cool. I like Gen X, man. They're the cool older bros and older sisses. But why do they never get shit on for anything? They're right there with us. Okay? You're doing the same shit. And your music kind of sucked. Okay? Your art sucked. The 80s sucked. These are the kind of opinions I want to talk about on this podcast. I don't want to talk about serious shit. Stop doing shit that's bad in the world, so that I can talk about how much the 80s as a decade was a garbage decade for the arts. Oh yeah. Music. The music sucked. All right? I'll tell you why the music sucked. Look at the 60s and the 70s, all right? A cultural phenomenon happens in the 60s. Drugs, but like good drugs, psychedelics, mushrooms, LSD. We really just kind of fuels this and the Vietnam War that they're fighting against, and the one love feel of the hippie movement, and even after all the shit that like went down after that, the 70s, the grungy fucking, a lot of the hippie movement was kind of a failure, and now I'm just on fucking heroin. I'm on smack. I'm on fucking all the downers, the depression. The Vietnam War was a disaster. Everyone's dead or maimed from it. And now the economy's in the shitter, and we're all just depressed. But because of that, we're just we've got so much fuel in our bodies we got to make art. So the music is just just fucking Led Zeppelin. You got Jimi Hendrix, all that shit. I don't know. There's just so much. There's so much soul and emotion in 60s and 70s music. And then 1980 happens, and Ronald Reagan gets in office, and all of a sudden it's all fucking and they're trying to beat Russia and trying to be like America's the fucking greatest. And at the same time, the only drug anyone's doing is cocaine. And suddenly all the drugs that were all about like us being together just became, it's all about me, dude. I'm the fucking number one and America's number fucking one and Hulk Hogan. And you gotta it just became big hair and fucking dumb shit. And a lot of just like art became so fucking pompous. And ugly. There's nothing good about the 80s. The music just became very self-centered music. It's very just and too intense. Like, I'm not a critic, so I don't know how to put this into real words. But you know what I'm talking about. It makes a definitive shift from the 60s and 70s to the 80s, and it just becomes lame. And cocaine is the worst drug. Very self-centered. Very, so very much I have the greatest idea ever. So then movies went from being this like super gritty film of the 70s. 70s was the golden era of film. Godfather, Chinatown, fucking The Sting, The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby. I think that was 60s. So much good film in the 70s. And then all of a sudden, just go look at the movies of the 80s. Everyone had a good idea, and it wasn't good. And then the action movies started coming. I mean, hell, look what happened to the Rocky movies and Rambo. The ones made in the 70s, Rocky 1 and 2, had heart. The ones made in the 80s were fucking comic books. That's the best shift. Look at the Rocky movies in the 70s. Look at just the grittiness of it. He has soul. He's not fucking, he's kind of pudgy. And then in the 80s, it just becomes glam. It's all glam. That's what it is. Everything in the 80s just was glam, which isn't even a real word. It's just something people high on coke think they are. Glamorous. You're not. Movies suck. Music suck. Visual art, just so many colors. You don't need all those colors. Why is everything shaped weird? That's when the art of like it's so bad it's good became in. It's not. It's bad. Were the 80s the boomers though, or was that Gen X is probably more 90s, actually. Gen X was born in the 70s. Yeah. In the 80s. Early 80s. No. We were born in the 80s. Yeah. So they were kids in the 80s, though. So, yeah. It was boomers in the 80s. They fucked it up. 90s. Actually, Gen X... They made the push to kind of make it cool again. 90s were cool. Brought that grunge back. Had a reason to be good. I don't know what I'm saying. All right? This has gone off the rails. And, but this is why I got to do it every week. Because I lose the ability to bullshit. And I lose steam. Did anything come out of this episode? Was this a waste of time? Probably. And probably not. Flip that. It was probably a waste of time and nothing came out of it. I am in my car. I do have a ring light on my face. Is it 12:30 in the morning? Yep. Mm-hmm. Come see me in Northern California. And... that's pretty much it. 23rd through the 26th. 23rd. Maybe it's 22nd through the 26th. I don't know. I'll have it put in the bottom down there. Is there anything else I'd like to talk about? It's been 30 minutes. We don't need to go longer than that. That's as long as we need to go. You have made it to work. Do you even still drive to work? Who is driving to work? You're going, well, okay, if you have like a real job, but if you have an office job, demand to work from home. Are you insane? We're not going back in. Your house is a better office, and you're more productive at home, okay? Just as a whole person, not just as an employee, but as an employee too. Listen, how did we get laundry done? How did we ever get laundry done when we were going into the office? I don't know what you're saying. Why are you doing laundry? You're not getting paid to do laundry. Laundry is a no-thought job. Laundry is something you can do while you're doing your job, if you have an office job. You pick it up, you put it in, you go back to work. Timer goes off, you take it out. Boom, the laundry's done. And you fold it during your break. I don't know if I can focus if every hour on the hour I don't get to go smush my face into my dog's face, okay? And say, you tweeping? You tweeping on the couch over here? Dude, if we had to go back in the office full time, I'm bringing my cutting board to every conference room meeting, okay? You think these vegetables are going to cook themselves throughout the day? Yes, they are. In the kitchen, behind my desk. Yeah, I'm bringing a hot plate. I got a slow cooker. As soon as our day's done, I want dinner ready. We don't have housewives. We have a stove in our office, which is our kitchen, which is our dining room. It's kind of not even a good deal for employees. At the end of the day, you're kind of stuck at work 24/7. I'm working more hours, but it's worth it to not wear pants. Look, all I'm saying is if I can't sexually harass my wife all day while I'm getting paid, I don't want the job, okay? Boop, 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 boop. I do that to her butt all day. And it's fun, and it's fulfilling, and I've found my calling. Nah, fuck that, dude. You know what I found in my calling? Was in the heat of the pandemic. Because I had work throughout the pandemic, but there was a good, during those, 6 months that it was really, really shut down, everything was shut down, in LA at least. Oh boy, I got so good at being unemployed, let me tell you. I got so good at being unemployed, I got so... If I could do it for a living, if I could be unemployed for a living, I wouldn't. That's how dedicated I am to the craft of being unemployed. That's... It was fun, man. Dude, we were getting... I mean, that is why inflation is fucking ruining our lives now, though. It's because dodos like me... We were all just on unemployment we're just getting free money. No, it's not my fault. It's the fucking government's fault. It wasn't us. It wasn't the fucking, $600 a week? It was a small amount, but we also weren't spending anything. There was no reason to spend any money during that whole time, and nowhere to even spend it, even if you wanted to. It wasn't our fucking little tiny ass bullshit that caused it. It was probably giving it away to corporations or some shit. I don't know. I don't fucking know, dude. All right. Well, that little tangent did nothing. A little extra 10 minutes there. Okay. Well, we did it. I'm going to release this immediately. And we are back on track, okay, folks? Every week, we're doing the pod. And maybe I'll do a little road pod with old Brucey boy, Bruce Gay. Bruce Gay. What was this, 1999? We'll do a little road pod on the way home next week, coming back from NorCal. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay? So that's when you'll hear it again. No, not next week, because this one is technically for the one from this past week. I'll do another one this week. All right. That's the podcast. Thank you. Don't forget, follow me out here with Joe. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you already do. And also sign the email list. But again, if you're already listening to this, you probably do already. And, come see some shows. We got Faster Horses coming back on May 30th. But I'll talk about that more later as we get closer. Okay? Thank you so much for being here. I am here. You are Joe. And we got into it. And I like you a lot. Okay? Boop, boop. Peep, peep. Bye.